As you can see, I'm not just MAGA, I'm dark MAGA. Well, first of all, I want to say what an honor it is to be here. And, you know, the true test of someone's character is how they behave under fire.
As the nation struggles to come to terms with Donald Trump's re-election, a fog of fear and uncertainty lingers heavy in the air. Amid this tumultuous backdrop, Elon Musk emerges, not merely as a supporter, but as an unprecedented power player, assuming a role that challenges the very foundations of our democracy.
There's some different stuff this time, and one of the ways it's genuinely different is that he now has a kind of coterie of oligarchs, including the richest man in the world, who've kissed the ring, worked to get him elected, and are now apparently going to be running America.
Elon Musk's influence extends far beyond traditional political support. His financial might and strategic maneuvers signal a dangerous shift toward oligarchy, blurring the lines between private ambition and public service.
Musk also bought Twitter for $44 billion and drove its value into the ground. I mean, essentially setting half that money on fire, like $22 billion worth of value, in order to turn the social media platform into a right-wing propaganda machine to get Donald Trump elected. And it kind of worked.
By sacrificing billions, Musk weaponized a global platform to sway public opinion, raising ethical questions about the manipulation of information and the erosion of unbiased discourse.
Trump literally at some point early on in this conversation hands the phone to Elon Musk and you know, encourages Zelensky to talk to Musk. There is some discussion between Musk and Zelensky about the communications apparatus that Elon Musk's company Starlink is providing in Ukraine.
This casual inclusion of Musk in high-stakes diplomatic conversations raises serious concerns about national security and the sanctity of international relations.
It's a little reminiscent, Caitlin, of when Trump won in 2016 and he had his daughter Ivanka next to him when he was having foreign leader calls, and he would put her on the phone with people. In this case, it's the richest man in the world who has business with government, and it's slightly different, but it's pretty in keeping with Trump's character.
The echoes of past nepotism are now amplified, with Musk's vast business interests entangled with his newfound political clout, posing unprecedented conflicts of interest.
The question to me is what sort of role he will get in the Trump administration. Trump had talked about him having sort of a role as the head of government efficiency, which would give him some pretty direct sort of oversight over the agencies that oversee him. As it seems like now, he seems like sort of a presidential sidekick or a co-president.
Musk's potential dual role as both a beneficiary of government contracts and an overseer of regulatory agencies threatens the checks and balances designed to prevent abuses of power.
Today, new concerns around a certain tech billionaire who may find himself part of President-elect Donald Trump's administration. Elon Musk helped Trump flip Pennsylvania, but questions surround potential conflicts of interest he may have with the federal government.
The intertwining of Musk's corporate ambitions with governmental authority cannot be overlooked. His influence could reshape policies to favor his enterprises at the expense of public interest.
Elon Musk wants a whole lot of things from the federal government. On one hand, he wants contracts. He already has a lot of contracts from NASA and the Defense Department to shoot up their satellites. On the other hand, he really wants regulation.
By leveraging his proximity to power, Musk stands to gain financially while potentially compromising regulatory safeguards designed to protect consumers and national security.
You use the word kleptocracy, but there's a step before that, oligarchy.
Yeah.
And if anybody has an understanding of the way oligarchy works, it's Vladimir Putin, right? I mean, when he took power in 2000, the first thing he did was he made a deal with the billionaires. If you support me, if you give me access to your national news outlets, your media companies, if you act as plenipotentiaries of my regime and do the bidding of the Russian Federation, you get to keep all the money you want with the inevitable kickbacks to the boss, right? Those who defied him wound up in exile or in the gulag, dead under mysterious circumstances. So I think what we're seeing here is the beginning of a kind of creeping American oligarchy.
The parallels drawn to foreign autocrats highlight the perilous path the United States may be embarking upon, a consolidation of wealth and power that undermines democratic institutions.
And look, Elon clearly has a tremendous amount of influence. I almost feel like the money that he spent on politics is honestly not even the most important part. Right now, and we're just getting started here, it's November of 2024, like over the next 4 years, a huge storyline is going to be this disintermediation of truth.
Musk's control over the flow of information threatens to erode the very fabric of informed democracy, as he positions himself as an arbiter of truth.
Free speech is the bedrock of democracy. And if people don't know what's going on, if they don't know the truth, how can you make an informed vote? You must have free speech in order to have democracy. That's why it's the First Amendment.
Yet, under the guise of championing free speech, Musk manipulates platforms to amplify partisan agendas, potentially silencing dissenting voices and distorting public discourse.
Trump isn't even president yet, but the mere fact he will be has investors flocking to invest in Elon Musk companies because Musk is close to the prez. They know. In fact, they probably saw the Trump family photo from Mar-a-Lago celebrating the day after the election, a family photo that, interestingly, doesn't include Melania Trump, who I think is Donald Trump's wife the last time I checked. But there's Elon Musk. He gets the friends and family discount now.
This symbiotic relationship not only enriches Musk, but also signals a corrupt intertwining of corporate interests and political power, undermining fair market practices.
And while he's sitting on billions of dollars of government contracts to the point where the U.S. space program has become largely dependent on him, now he's going to be something approaching a kind of co-president.
Musk's ascent to a de facto leadership role without public mandate challenges the democratic principle that government derives its power from the consent of the governed.
As 4 of The Atlantic puts it, there's a distinct twist to the aims of the big tech oligarchs. They don't simply want to insulate themselves from regulators and courts. Ultimately, they want to exploit their relationship with the government in order to supplant it.
The ultimate ambition may be a consolidation of power that threatens the essence of American democracy, a shift from government by the people to control by a privileged few.
This guy, the world's richest man who spent more than $100 million to get Trump elected, is just kind of around, and he can walk in the room when the president-elect is on the phone with the world leader.
The future of our democracy hinges on resisting the slide into oligarchy and reaffirming our commitment to transparency, accountability, and equal representation. Musk's rising role exposes vulnerabilities in our political system, cracks through which influence and power seep unchecked, reshaping public policy to suit private interests. This is more than a fleeting moment in American politics. It's a pivotal shift, one that has the potential to alter the balance of our democratic institutions. The question remains, will we allow the reins of power to be held by a select few? Or will we stand firm in preserving the democratic ideals upon which our nation was founded?